My thoughts may be cogent or scattered, but by your kind attention I'm flattered. Let me elaborate, rather pontificate, about why it is that I think teaching matters. Hello, welcome back. Good to see you again. I'm Heidi Marks Morris, and I'm talking to you today about the paradox of my first year of teaching this year. This is actually my 22nd, 23rd, or 25th year of teaching, depending on how you count, because my real first year of teaching was in 1995. Let me contrast 1995's first year marks with 2020's first year marks and the paradox that I will be juggling this year. Teaching is learning to embrace paradox. That is a theme I will come back to again and again throughout this series this year. Paradox means two opposite and contradictory facts that are simultaneously true. Things like every student is an individual and you have to teach an entire class at once. Both of those things are true. How can you possibly juggle them successfully? The only way they teach you how to do that in college is by only focusing on one reality, pretending that you can teach only one student at a time, when in fact you must teach an entire class at once. But for today, I want to talk about competence and the confidence that it gives you, and ignorance and the comparative bliss that it gives you, and how those two have shifted so dramatically for me this year. So my first year of teaching in 1995, I had heaps of ignorance, which was a blessing. I didn't know what I didn't know. I had no idea the situations that would unfold that year or the next year. I didn't know about the mental and physical exhaustion. I didn't know about the joys and the tears and the laughter that lay ahead of me. I didn't know what I didn't know. But as I went through that year and subsequent years, my barrel of ignorance emptied and my barrel of competence grew. I began to learn how to deal with unruly students, how to deal with when to excuse something and when to be a hard nose about it, when to give a parent a call and when not to. All of these nuances of teaching that you only learn by experience, and that competence barrel filled, and it gave me more and more confidence in what I did. This year, I walked into in-service last week, and it took about 2 days to feel that all of that competence acquired through 20 years of hard experience was emptied forcefully into my dwindling container of ignorance, which is now overflowing and flooding my system with messages of, I do know what I don't know, and it's terrifying. In some ways, I wish I were a first-year teacher for real this year, and I didn't know what I am lacking in my classroom. All that I know about teaching is about interacting with human beings that I'm face to face with, that can see one another, that embrace a classroom community, that contribute, that interact, that have good days and bad days, and now I'm relegated to a face on a screen that may or may not be engaging to a student. I've never met these students before. I know nothing about them. And yet, here I am on YouTube telling you that I am a competent, even an expert teacher, that I am a voice deserving to be heard and to be considered. There's a paradox. I am an expert of ignorance, and embracing that is going to be how I deal with this year.